Donna's gonna wet her pants.
We're live.
Okay. Tonight
Hello.
we'll be interviewing the one and only Albert Einstein. Guten Tag,
you
mein
know.
Herr.
Hello.
You're not quite all on the screen. Hold on. What's going on? Oh, we may need to enlarge the region that we're viewing. Hold on, I gotta do a
I
little
think
tweaking.
the Tom is in Biggin.
Yeah, it's chopping off the bottom of his Well, that's from him. Nothing I can do about that. Oh, we still getting a little bit of gray in there. Oh, I captured this. Okay. Go this way. Okay, thank you, Professor Dr. Albert Einstein.
Sure, welcome.
Whatever. Okay, let me get to the videos and share this. Oh, you're gonna have to join me on karaoke night sometime.
Yeah. I love karaoke.
What do you like to sing? Du hast? Der Kommissar?
Your commissar. Here you go. Wait a minute. Yo, what's up?
Who's that? Steve the Loser from the meme picture?
No, it's Eminem.
Okay, if
Yo.
you say so.
You don't know who Eminem is?
I know of him. I wouldn't pick him out of a lineup though.
Okay. I'm back.
All right, wow, we got a whole 2 viewers enjoying this. So, Steve Jobs, have you sold God any iPhones?
He already had some when I got there. He said they were heavenly enough.
See, when I get to the pearly gates, I'm going to tell St. Peter, dude, you're still using a book. Come on.
Yeah. Don't you have the internet up
Pencil
here? How's the
and
Wi-Fi
paper?
connection?
This is the digital age, guy. You could be improving your process a lot. That's
right.
my occupational hazard.
Okay. Hello.
Give me your clothes.
What's funny is if I put my hand up in front of my face, it starts.
It turns into like one of those crazy twisted face pictures.
I was really trying hard to make
Instagram filter.
Max Headroom work right because I wanted to jump in our team meeting and be Max Headroom.
Public.
Hello.
Yeah, Craig can't join us tonight. But we have a number of guests.
You got to settle for me.
They were they were envious of Jack Mangan, I guess.
Oh yeah. Jack who?
Okay. Shall we?
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna go and I'll stop this. That was too much fun.
Soon.
Oh wait, what was the? Let's see. Did you see the other ones?
Oh my gosh, he's locked into the Matrix.
There you go.
Oh, Harry Potter.
Hello. I'm here to show you some magic tricks tonight. I'm going to disappear.
How does Harry Potter step off the plane in Hawaii? Aloha, Mora.
All right, hold on. Let me switch my video. Voice and video. All right, that was fun. Anyway.
If you're Harry, that makes me what? Ron Weasley?
Yep.
Oh, no, it's all black. Got no camera. You got to uncover your camera. That's our show tonight. Thanks, everybody. Oop, it's on for a second.
There.
There. Okay.
Hang on a second.
Now he's like in a Star Trek Superman thing.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It was cooling off outside, actually. I was surprised.
Your audio's really hot tonight. Okay. Check. There we go.
I don't know. It was worth it just to hear Donna cackling over in the corner.
Huh.
That
might be a little low.
Oh, do I need to turn? You got enough light on me? I look all right?
You're fine. We're about the same. I could probably brighten up my camera a little bit too, but okay. Check. Here we go. Give me some audio.
Hello. How low can you go?
That's about even. Okay.
All right.
Okay. And let us begin. Thank you for joining us, everybody, on Facebook and YouTube. I know a little late for the introductions, but we appreciate it anyway. We're going to start Technorama episode 598. 2 more shows. 2 more, which is probably 2 more weeks because we're not going on any business trips or anything. 2 more weeks and we'll have episode 600.
Yeah, so if you want to call in and give us a hard time about it.
707-530-2428. That's the listener line. And tell us what we could do to be better in the next 600 shows.
No. No.
You're not inviting... You know, there's the continuous improvement feedback system.
That's true.
Okay. Oh, man.
So, yeah, we got 600 coming up. Oh, by the way, if you go to our Technorama podcast page, there's a call me button, and I think it takes you right there.
It does. It should. I hooked it up. Let's see. Whoa, what did I just do? Hair's getting long. Can't go to the barber.
Just once you get a Floby, that's what you need.
Did you see last night's Saturday night karaoke?
Oh, you mean that ludicrous display last night?
Did you see that ludicrous display last night? What were they thinking putting Chuck in for Frank Sinatra? He always comes in too early on the song.
No, I did. You did a good job.
Thanks. I got a couple requests I got to fulfill next week. My brother-in-law, or former brother-in-law, wants to hear some CCR. We'd probably do Fortunate Son. And old friend Patty wants Funky Town. I don't think we've done Funky Town, Donna.
Yeah, you should do that one. That's
a
pretty popular one, I would imagine.
Right, but you got to know where to come in. What depending on which karaoke channel I use, are they giving me backup vocals or not? So, I mean, there's a lot of songs that I can do with female vocals. I can do a pretty decent Carly Simon, if you believe that. So anyway, let's.
No, I don't.
I'm not doing Freebird. Okay, let's get started with this podcast.
You know, the stupid Facebook. I can't see any of the comments, so you're going to have to tell me who's.
I got John Miller Jr. Chuck and Craig must dress up as Futurama characters for the 600th episode. I can do that.
We can make that happen.
I'll just do this. Good news, everyone! We've got 600 shows. Okay.
599 of them are all right.
No, I forgot what else I was going to say. Anyway, let's continue on with the show. Recording episode 598 in 5, 4, 3. Technorama episode 598, Dos Equis. Told you.
Oh, you're playing the long one.
15-second version.
Hey, we don't have the budget for that.
I forgot I rearranged the buttons a couple weeks ago. It's like, that's where the 10-second button used to be. Oops. Hey, welcome to Technorama. This is the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If this is your first time listening or watching, thank you for joining us. 598 shows. We're very proud of that fact that we're still around and still not able to stop doing this thing. If you are a returning listener, you know what this is all about. Thank you and welcome back. We appreciate giving us your time. I'm Chuck Tomasi from sunny Phoenix, Arizona, and joining me all the way across the country, keeping safe social distancing in South Carolina, is Craig Stepp. How are you, Craig?
I'm doing well. I'm staying away from everybody.
Except your wife.
As far as I can tell.
And your son.
Even him. I make him stay in his room. Kim stays downstairs. I stay right here.
I should have said, if you're a returning listener, you know how our kids are getting older as this show goes on, but somehow we're not. Yeah. Well, we're not growing up.
You know, you said that we got 600 episode 600 coming up, and that's of our proper show. But I tell you, I copied all of our files over to the new server. There's about 1,000.
Were there?
There are 1,000 podcasts in there.
Does that include Gmail?
It said 1,005
yesterday and everything.
What's that?
Is that all of them, or is that just Technorama?
That's just us. So That's just our stuff. So I figure margin error. There's probably a few files in there that aren't really a show in itself, but there's at least 1,000 of them in there. So we've done pretty good over the last 15 years.
And T. Morris and I are working on the 4th edition of Podcasting for Dummies that will be coming out later this year, probably around October timeframe again. So we are turning in the first 25% tomorrow, Monday. April 27th is our first deadline. Actually, the first deadline was March 30th.
Is that 31st. The good part or the...
It's chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 17. We are putting in a new chapter for streaming. Chapter 9 used to be the video chapter. We are moving that to 17, including streaming, because podcasting and streaming are slowly doing this kind of thing, merging. They're like my intertwined fingers that the listeners can't see. But we're adapting. It's funny because so much of like the equipment and websites that we referenced changed between second and third, and that was 9 years between second and third edition. Only 3 years have gone by since we wrote the third edition, and we're finding that a lot of philosophies are now changing. A lot of the viewpoints, just people will say, "Hey, I got a podcast," and we used to just come down like a hammer and go, "It's not a podcast unless you have an RSS feed." That's not entirely the case. I mean, the word podcast is taking on a whole new meaning, and we got to adapt to that. I mean, there's terms. What was it? Podcatching client. Nobody uses that term anymore, and it's all over.
No.
We did find something that made it into the second edition and the third edition, and we just caught it.
Just caught it.
There was
something that shouldn't have been in there.
Yeah, there was a reference in the interviewing chapter that says, "Oh, by the way, if you're going to interview somebody, you're legally supposed to say, may I have your permission to record this interview? See episode 5 about legal ramifications." There was no mention in chapter 5 about that. We did a back reference to nothing.
Well, if you invited somebody on for an interview, I would say there's kind of a built-in understanding that you're going to be recording this.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But it was just not, that's not the point. The point is, through 2 reviews, we have this back reference that went to nothing.
Well, yeah. Oh, I see. Well,
there was a comment in there from like Rich Sigfrid, who did our technical editing on the last one. And T said, I think T had a comment in there. We still have comments from the last edition in the copies that we're starting with. That says, "Hey, did we ever figure out if this exists in chapter 5? And there's a comment right below it replying, "Nope."
Okie dokie.
So that's where we're starting. I got to make sure that that's in there, or just take out the thing that says "see chapter 5." Okay. Anyway, funny stuff we're discovering along the way, and we are fixing the link that says youtube.com.
Oh, you might want to be careful with that one.
That was devastating when we got the final print and went, all right, fire our editor. Because
YouTube
missed that. Yeah.
I'm afraid to even look that website up.
In October, we 2017, we got the hard copies and we had this kind of launch party. And Keith Lane is going through, goes, "What's youtube.com?" I'm like, "Shut up." He goes, "No, it's right there." I'm like, "Oh,
why did you just register it and forward it over to YouTube
or forward it to our site?"
Yeah,
because it's one of those things that I'm not going to pay for that because it's a typo and it won't be there forever. All right, let's get into our feedback. We have some feedback. We asked our question of the week, so let's do that.
Right. Letters. We got letters. And I'm off on lag.
At least he admits it now.
Yeah.
Ladders?
Ladders? YouTube.
Ding dong. Okay, our question of the week this week is you are tired of the human race, so you decide to help an advanced alien civilization destroy the Earth. What tips would you give them? And we got some answers back. We're not going to get into all of them, of course. But we have one from Weber Baker who says, Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Okay. Brian Parker says, just be patient. It won't be long now, and you won't have to lift a finger or tentacle or whatever.
Right.
Trampus
a tentacle
says,
or whatever.
Trampus, I like Trampus weapons. Sit back and grab some popcorn, then enjoy the show as we do it ourselves.
Yeah. No, just relax. Save your energy.
Yeah. You don't need any tips. We're going to take care of it for you.
That's right.
John Miller Jr. says, set up kiosks that have a single world-destroying button in them everywhere and label each one TikTok End of the World Challenge. Very nice. JC Hudson's chimed in and said, start by sowing absolute confusion, terror, and existential dread. Unplug Netflix.
That's right.
To which Craig responds, you monster! Can't you just hear the gingerbread cookie man when you say that?
Yeah, you monster.
You're a monster. Dave Juckham says start in Washington, D.C. Dan Thal says, I don't know, 15%, 20%. If they refill my drink more than once and smile. Jack Mangan says, tell Tarkin that Earth is the location of the rebel base.
I know. I laughed when I saw that one. That was good.
Scott Tyler says, destroy the internet, then teleport all the booze, beer, and wine to their mothership.
No.
Yeah. My sister just says, shake hands.
Yeah. And Suzette put a gif of a UFO, an alien taking off, leaving. Right below that.
She's put in a couple of them. She's got another one underneath George Kublin's. Samurai noodles. I'm not sure where that came from. Mike Will says, make the president of the U.S. the supreme leader of the world. Then let it take care of itself. Seems like a lot of people are of the opinion we can take care of it ourselves without involving an alien race.
You know what? There's probably some truth to that.
Did you have any new original ones on your comments?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, well, there's another. Be patient. They're doing it on their own.
Same vein.
Let's see.
Yep.
Here you go. Destroy their paper. They live by paper. Paper trails, publications, paperwork, receipts, bills, advertising, and the one that just came most important was toilet paper.
Destroy their paper.
Yeah,
they'll destroy themselves if you destroy their paper. Civilization will unravel.
Literally.
Yeah. Saw that coming. Okay, there's our questions for the week. We will have another one at the end of this show, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss it, and then we'll put it on social media.
Yeah.
Let's do the history thing. Yeah. We like that music. On this day in history for April 29th, 2020, this is the 120th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are only 246 days remaining in 2020. It was on this date in 1770 that James Cook arrived in Australia at Botany Bay, which he names. Good thing.
That's right. And on April 29th, 1834, Charles Darwin, during the second survey voyage of HMS Beagle, ascended the Bell Mountain in Sierra La Campana and on 17th of August, I was trying to read that backwards, 17th of August, 1834, his visit being commemorated by a memorial plaque.
Well, I want to see that plaque. Like, Charles Darwin was here. It was 156 years ago today that Theta Chi fraternity is founded at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, the only fraternity to be founded during the American Civil War.
And it was also on this date in 1953 that the first U.S. experimental 3D television broadcast showed an episode of Space Patrol. on Los Angeles ABC affiliate KECA-TV.
Space Patrol in 3D. 1953.
I remember seeing.
Wow.
Remember they made a big deal about the Creature from the Black Lagoon on 3D on TV, and you could go to the convenience store and get glasses and stuff.
Of course.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
It was, 55 years ago today, Pakistan's Space and Upper Atmosphere Research Commission, or SUPARCO, successfully launched its 7th rocket into its Reber series.
Reber, that's what they put in concrete, right?
Rebar. Yeah, no, it's the stuff that make rubber bouncy balls out of.
Yeah. All right. Also on April 29th, 1986, American and European spy satellites capture the ruins of the 4th reactor at the Chernobyl power plant.
So within a month, we had spy satellites that could show us what happened. Yeah. Happy birthday goes out on this day too. French mathematician, physicist, and engineer Henri Poincaré, I hope. Born on this day in 1854.
Do you suffer from Craig's stepitis? I'm trying to pronounce some names.
You might have something there for the next show.
Yeah. Forrest Ray Moulton, the American astronomer and academic, was born 148 years ago today.
Run, Forrest, run! Born 29 April 1893. I'm not sure why I read it that way. It's not the way it was written. American chemist and astronomer, Nobel Prize laureate Harold Urey.
And Marietta Blau was American physicist and academic, was born 126 years ago today.
She was from Austria, not America.
What did I say? Oh, sorry. I saw the line above. Never mind.
American pianist, composer, and band leader Duke Ellington. We don't do band leaders in here too much, but the music kind of inspired me. Kind of sounds like this could be a Duke. Okay. He was born on this date in 1899. Play it, buddy. Anyway.
Yeah. Henry H. Barschall, German-American physicist and academic, was born on the same date in 1915.
And turning 74 today is Polish astronomer Alexander Volshan.
Wow. And born on the same date in 1954, American comedian, actor, and producer Jerry Seinfeld.
Maybe Volshan. CZ is a Chan. Well, I'm still working on that. I'm usually better with my Polish names than that.
I was like, no, it's pronounced Seinfeld.
If you can spell Oxtalevich, good luck. I can, actually. American actress Kate Mulgrew is 65 today. Oh, happy birthday, Captain Janeway.
Right. Also turning 64 today. Well, I guess he was born today. As American physicist and philosopher Karen Barad.
And American actress Eve Plum is 62. Quick. Eve Plum was what character?
She was on Brady Bunch. Cindy.
No,
I'm sorry. You know I'm talking. Huh?
Eve Plum was Jan. Cindy was Susan Olsen.
I'm sorry. I mixed
Listener birthdays this week for April 29th to May 5th include Mark Blackburn. Thank you very much. He does the America at War podcast on April 29th. Well, his birthday is on April 29th. He does the America at War podcast a lot more often than that. Brian K. on May 4th, as well as Joel McLaughlin and our very own Amy Bowen. Happy birthday to all of you on the 4th. And the May 5th has 4 birthdays themselves. Wait a minute. Amy Bowen's birthday is May the 4th? Okay.
Wow. Yes, it is.
How
okay.
Prophetic. Anyway, Chad Davis and John Isler on the 5th. Griffin Sylvester. Martine Teisman, who is... Whose mom?
Yorga. Oh, Yorga. I knew that.
And Ringmaster Greg from Dancing with Elephants, whom I found a very old unanswered chat in my Skype chat transcript.
Did you follow up on it?
Yes, I did.
Like a 4-year-old. Hey, I'm sorry for the late reply.
I think it was actually based on the message. It was just a link. I think he was hacked.
Oh.
Happy birthday to all of you. If you want to get your name on the birthday calendar, go over to chuckchat.com/wiki. And that's the way it was on this day in history for April 29, 2020. Oh, if it's your birthday, we wish you all the best as well. Get your name on the new birthday calendar.
Hey, it's not.
It's not.
Oh, you mean the listener. Oh, sorry.
Whew, I'm out of breath on that one.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's we've got this break in the wrong place. We'll break after the Remember When. Until then, why don't you take our first story there, Craig? A lot of good
Sure.
stuff.
As soon as I'm
here.
done editing the show notes on the fly. So I thought this was great because I always love, we always love old computer stuff here.
This isn't that old to me anyway.
No, not necessarily. Well, it doesn't feel that way. But this abandoned computer store is a time capsule of the early 2000s tech, and it's in a strip mall in a strip mall in a small Oklahoma city, and it's a treasure trove of software and hardware just sitting there gathering dust. And actually, it looks like it's in pretty good shape, to be honest with you.
It looks kind of like someone dumped a whole bunch of stuff. Nobody would stack monitors that way. It looks kind of like they warehoused in the store.
Well, here, let's read a little bit. So, in the era of before Amazon and boutique custom-built PCs, computer enthusiasts visited humble local computer stores to buy things like RAM, graphic cards, and computer games sold by big cardboard packages.
Sold in.
They had names like
sold by the packages. They're sold in the packages.
Sold in the pack. Oh, what I say? Sold in big cardboard packages.
Sold by big cardboard packages.
They did sell a bunch of big cardboard packages. Anyway, so they had names like PC Store, Computer King, and Computer Factory Outlet. The last is the name of
that reminds me of the originality on naming Chinese restaurants. The big golden wok
number
garden.
one.
The big panda golden wok garden or something.
No, the Chinese restaurant we used to go to was like number one.
Would you rather have the number one or the number two?
One. Wait, no, I don't know.
Okay. Anyway,
so the Computer Factory Outlet. The last is the name of an abandoned store rotting away in a lonely strip mall in Norman, Oklahoma. Closed for a decade. Wow, 10 years. The Computer Factory Outlet is locked tight and somehow still full of merchandise. And it's like a time capsule from the early 2000s personal computer industry. Dell and Gateway boxes pressed against the glass, turning yellow in the sun. Base PC towers loom in ramshackle piles. PC copies of Tiger Woods 99 video game just sit there and gather dust all by themselves.
I'd like a copy of TurboTax and a Quicken 99 for...
Well, something that's been sitting there for 10 years. I'm surprised somehow it hasn't gotten
lifted,
ransacked, or
exactly. Well, it's not worth anything now. The merchandise
got sold off. Well, I mean, there's got to be a point when they go, well, hey, they just defaulted on this. Let's sell them. You're
not going to get anything for it. How much would you get for an old, like, Pentium 75?
Well, here you go. So this is how it got found. So the store caught the attention of Joshua Trammell, who used to get his haircut from the barber in the same shopping center when he was a kid. When we used to go to the store when I was younger, Trammell told Motherboard, the website, on the phone, the woman in there would be very abrupt with us because we were little kids running around in a computer store. So Norman, Oklahoma is a small college town about 2 hours from the north of the Texas border. Since I moved away from Norman, it's just been the same storefront, the same window display, he said. Trammell is back in Norman after getting laid off from his job as a manager at a candy store. He decided to go back to the old store and take photos of it. He wanted to let everybody know, wanted to let everybody reminisce a bit about how gorgeous it looks. And he shares the photos, of course, on Reddit, and that's where these pictures come from.
So it says a court case from 2007 mentioned the store and its owner as complicated mess of claims and counterclaims between the owner and the hedge fund that lent them money in 2001. It seems like it's just a property in limbo, really, Trammell said. Those PC towers are lost in time and kind of stuck to it. I was going to say, there's got to be a story as to why someone would abandon the store with its inventory.
Well, there is a link to the article that you're talking about. Actually, it was like the filing that you're talking about. So anyway, you can go read it if you want.
I like how the sign.
But go check out the picture. You know what? This looks like any computer store I used to work in or have been around.
It's a little more crowded than anything I've ever seen.
It is a little more crowded than with inventory than I've been used to. But I've worked in a few stores that look like this, similar.
That would never have flown in our old Computerland store.
So the computer
I think the sign kind of faded or letters fell off because the computer actory outlet.
they faded to white. I think I think you still see them on there.
Factory Cutlet. What is it?
Outlet.
Just kidding.
Cutlet. Anyway, we used to have a computer store here in town called Software and So Forth. So I don't know if that's a great name or not. Just,
software and whatever.
Yeah.
Hardware.
I even had something. I did make a comment. What was that? I know a couple people that they had a rack in the store, and so if you were a local programmer, there was like several people that put their floppy disks in a baggie and had them on the rack, so you could buy them.
That's the way you sold them originally.
Yeah,
put them in the sandwich bag.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
All right, we have some NASA story. We have a couple of space stories that might interest you. So we should just have a segment about astronomy because we just dig this stuff. Yeah, pigs in space. We could call it. Oh wait, that name's been taken.
Yeah.
So over at Ars Technica, they have an unprecedented look at the Apollo 13's damaged service module. NASA's famous Apollo 13 mission launched 50 years ago, and on April 14th, the oxygen tank and its service module, kaboom, exploded. As you undoubtedly know, I'm not going to give you a spoiler alert, but the mission's moon landing was canceled after the explosion, sending the 3 astronauts into a mad scramble with mission control to have to save their lives. Apollo 13 inspired an award-winning eponymous film in 1995 starring Tom Hanks as Commander Jim Lovell. At Ars, they have chronicled aspects of the mission in great deal, putting it into broader context of the Apollo program, as well as going really deep on what exactly happened during the mission. For this story, we have a special treat. Newly remastered images culled from the 70mm Hasselblad photographs and stacked frames from 16mm film. These images were processed and shared with Ars by Andy Saunders, a property developer and semi-professional photographer in Northern England who is an Apollo enthusiast. In recent years, he has spent more and more time going into the Apollo archive to dig out new details from from images and films. Not sure what I was trying to say there. Goes into what Andy the artist is, but you could see some pretty cool enhanced shots of how they took these grainy black and whites and some color and merged them together and cleaned them up with digitizing. And ooh-wee, they are really cool.
It's amazing. As soon as I saw these, I thought, I got to share this article.
There's a couple of them where you feel like you're in the cockpit with them. They're so crystal clear.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the picture of the damage is. So I thought they were struggling to get a view of what happened. So that's why when I saw these pictures, I was like, I didn't realize that they actually had this, but maybe I just hadn't seen them.
They had the pictures, and maybe it's just me, but it didn't look that bad in the enhanced pictures. It actually made it look like, we just lost the cover.
You just
cover
blew the
came
cover
off. We can see the guts, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah,
but you can see there's some more banged up stuff around the exhaust port. Neat stuff.
What makes me want to go watch the movie again?
Space porn. Okay, the more on the space. Take us over to Gizmodo, where we have a story on the space shuttle.
Yeah, and I love the space shuttle a lot. I know a lot of other people do or have. I guess you still do.
Apparently, Gizmodo didn't. They thought it was a terrible idea.
Well, I tell you what, it certainly captured my attention when I was a kid. But in 2005, then NASA's administrator Michael Griffin shocked the aerospace community when he openly criticized the space shuttle program, describing it to USA Today as a mistake, just barely possible, and not the right path. Not the right stuff. Okay, not the right path for the United States. Griffin's comments were astonishing, given that the program was still in full swing and very much celebrated in the American public. The shuttle would be permanently grounded just 6 years later, retired after 30 captivating but undeniably tumultuous years. But the cracks in the program had formed long before Griffin publicly aired his grievances. The 1986 Challenger and the 2003 Columbia disasters, which resulted in the deaths of 14 astronauts, caused many to question the concept of whether the 4.5 million pound space truck, as it was pitched back in the 90s, was worth the risk.
70s, you mean?
Do what?
It was pitched back in the 70s. It was in service in the 90s.
Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of surprised it lasted that long, but I thought, considering they had a good record, as many missions as they took with it.
What else happened anyway, besides these tragedies? Besides these tragedies, read on.
I know. I was trying to look. Other blemishes appeared outside of these tragedies as it became painfully clear that the program was failing to deliver on its promises. The shuttle resulted in many technological and scientific advancements is undeniable. The question of whether the benefits were worth their costs, whether it measured in lives, dollars, or missed opportunities of not following a more fruitful space strategy. Regrettably, the only plausible answer is no.
So what we saw in Moonraker just isn't happening. Space tourism.
Actually, you know what's funny is I saw on Netflix, they classified that movie as sci-fi.
Moonraker?
I was like, it's science fiction?
It's a documentary.
It's a documentary. Yeah, it actually happened.
That's right.
So anyway. But the reality proved to be far different, as in cost put more. It cost more to put a pound of payload in the orbit around the shuttle than it did aboard the Saturn launch vehicle that preceded it.
Mm-hmm.
These mistakes produced a program that cannot work, he said, adding that the shuttle grows more dangerous and more expensive to fly with each passing year.
And that was supposed to be its original thing, was it's reusable, so we're not going to be spending as much to get payload into space, but it just didn't work out that way.
Now, I wonder if you compare, I'm sure that SpaceX is making a better use of resources because it doesn't take as much fuel and risk as much to get things into space as even the shuttle. I wonder what the price comparison is there.
The latest figure I heard for, I think it was the Titan rockets. I forget if it's Titan or Delta. One of the more recent ones is $10,000 a pound to get something into space.
Mm-hmm. Well, and consider SpaceX is reusing most of the rocket. What is about? It's well more than half. I forget what they can't use the fairings because they keep falling in the sea. But the rockets itself, they reuse it several times so they can recoup the costs on that.
Right.
What did they cost? Like 20? No, I'm not going to speculate. I know. I was trying to recall there was an article where SpaceX was kind of competing with Russia now because we're going to be sending people to space.
Costs more than I make in a year.
So anyway, you can go check out the article, and there's a lot of information in here about the lives, the costs, and all the things that go into figuring out if it's worth it or not. I love the space shuttle. Just as a kid, just thinking it was possible that we can send something up that looked like this and have it come back down and reuse it.
It's supposed to look like this.
Well, the first one was called Enterprise.
The one that rode on the back of the 747. I know that was one of my early public address classes. I did a demonstration speech, or I had some poster or something that explained how the space shuttle was going to work. So I can attribute some of my early speaking skills to that course and that topic. Ooh.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate your education, kids, even if it's at home. All right, let's take a quick break, and we will be right back with some more random stuff. Hang on.
Hi, this is Amy Bowen, host of Movie Chat with the Movie Writer.
The nerds behind TG Geeks webcast, where we talk about sci-fi, comics, film, horror, comedy, you name it, we talk about it. Morning at 6 a.m. Eastern. You can find us on iTunes, Blueberry, and iHeartRadio. Also, look us up on YouTube. Of course, we can be found at tggeeks.com Technorama.com, where you can find not only our webcast, but articles about other news. So come along from the loud ride
We have a minor correction. Amy's in the chat
really?
tonight, and she said, my birthday is actually April 4th, not May 4th. That would be really cool if it was.
Why is it in April?
We're going to have to update the calendar, apparently. Something got transposed wrong.
Just take it, Amy.
Yeah. Legally change it at this point.
Let's legally change your birthday.
It's worth it. Other
have
people
to
in
go
the
make
chat
that-
room, we've got a number of people have been joining us in and out of here.
You're going to have to look because I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry.
I got John Miller Jr. and Amy Bowen. That's all I say.
Oh.
If they're not saying
Yippee.
hello, we're not going to see it. What's odd is afterwards, if I go back and look at the video, I see all kinds of chat in there. Like, I don't know where these people went or what's
I
up with
know.
YouTube. It's kind of weird because even last night when I was doing the karaoke, I shared it into the quarantine karaoke group and I saw 0 views. And I went, there's no comments, there's no likes, there's no nothing. It's like, well, and plus there's probably at least a dozen videos in there every hour. So you're kind of lost in the masses. That group consists of over 600,000 people. I figured I'm probably not going to do anything there. I might as well just keep doing this with my friends and family. Crazy times, crazy times.
Wait a minute.
What?
Where did you get the birthday calendar from? Because it's correct in here for
I got it off of the birthday calendar. I'll look later. Not in the middle of the show. Makes for boring shows.
You did copy April.
I did. Wait.
Yeah, but you got it listed as May.
Well, who's on April 29th? Did I get March?
April 29th is
Mark
actually, it
Blackburn?
would be March 29th is Mark Blackburn.
I got the wrong. I got the end
You
of
just
March.
got the-
Okay. Real time update then. Who is in April 29th to May 5th? Since you're looking
April 29th. April 29th is Shepherd Tom from the Outside the Known Universe.
Yay.
April 29th is Timothy Carr. April 30th is Julio Diaz.
Of course, we know Julio's is on the 30th. Why didn't I just figure that as a
And
flag?
what date are we going up to? I guess next week's the
Till May
6th,
5th.
so- May 5th. So we got up to May 3rd is K.O. Wright.
Hey.
Also on May 3rd is Leon.
Wow, we got some important people in this group.
That's right. And May 5th is Joe Machkowski from, he used to be on the podcast.
We don't
on
have
the podcast.
any listeners with the birthday on May the 4th?
No, I do not see anybody on May 4th.
Okay,
so
we need to fix
okay,
that.
Kylo Ren. and yeah.
Some guy
No.
named Luke.
So you kind of had a mix between the right
The right day is
month
the
and-
wrong month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's all right.
okay. Well, happy birthday to all those people a few weeks ago, and happy birthday to the people that are coming up. We wish you all the best. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled podcast. We do this show 9:30 Eastern Time on Sunday nights. Hope you can join us there. Join us in the chat room. Make a comment, stand out, and we'll get the birthday calendar right next time. And also want to thank our wonderful patrons who have a lot of the same names as the people we just read off. But because they're paying or donating, we give them some extra love, as you can do as well. People like Alexis Duran, Amber Elstad, Amy Bowen. There. Happy birthday, Amy.
Right.
Avner Braverman, Ben Vaughn, Brian Brown, Chris MC, Dandy Man Coyer. I'm just going to start going around here until I hit them all. Gary Lindros, Jorga Schrauen, Mark Kilfoyle, Stephen Wetchy. What are you doing that my screen is jumping around? You're cutting and pasting.
Oh, sorry.
Don't do that
I'm
in the middle
editing
of a
the
show.
show notes.
No.
I'm editing this.
Fix it at the end. I can't read.
Okay, sorry.
It's like
Sorry.
The table is going all over Kingdom Come. All right.
Sorry.
I don't even know where I was. Saturday Morning Media, Leon, John Noble, Denise Inglis, Dean Jensen, John Clifford, Kyle Nishioka, Night Gig Studios, Steve Therian, Mike Wills, Christina, Harold McKinstry, and Danny Mortensen. Thank you, everybody, for being part of the show. Thank you for supporting it. Your dollars are being well spent because Craig has spent a good chunk of his weekend migrating us over to the new hosting provider. Thank you very much, Craig, for taking on that endeavor. We've got the data over. Now we need to get the database. So we got all our years of files, but we have no WordPress content at this point.
Yeah. I'm about 75, 80% done in this migration process.
Nicely done. We did have to spend an extra $2 a month on some storage because I underestimated how much we would actually need. But
it was close. Actually, we may end up having to push it up a little bit later on.
In a couple of months. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But you did mention that you could keep an eye on it on your phone, too. There were some stats or something? They have an app or what?
Oh, no. I was just not reminiscing, but just thinking, I was remote desktoping or using remote desktop to my computer so I could watch it because I didn't want to sit here and watch the terminal, scroll. It's copying files.
Are done copying.
So I was outside with a little bourbon and sitting there and I went, let's see if it's still working.
Gotcha. I thought they had like some sort of dashboard where you could tell the status of the file copy. Okay.
Oh, no. I was using terminal commands.
So we got to get the database over. We got to set up DNS. We should be good.
And then that should be pretty much it. But I got to add SSL. That's the next thing, which isn't that hard.
Testing. Yes, soon we will have an HTTPS address.
That's right.
that
Same for Topicus Trek as well when we get that over.
Yes, and ChuckTomasi.com and ChuckChat.com. And they're all in the same house. I think Podcasting for Dummies is in that house too. But,
yes, it is.
Okay.
Everybody will be using that.
Yep. Happy to see it. Well, except for your personal properties. You know what? We just talked through pretty much all the song, but thank you very much. If you want to be part of this, go over to patreon.com/Technorama podcast. And for as little as $1 a show, you can help sponsor this show and keep it running. There's always software and hardware and hosting that needs doing, and we greatly, greatly appreciate that. And, wow, we're going to run this all the way through. Thank you. That doesn't happen very often, but I kind of lost track that it was running. That means it's time for... Did you take out my past... Oh, I originally called it...
No, you had hand me the remote at the bottom, so I'm just mixing it all together.
Okay, now we have pass the remote, media corner, and hand me the remote.
Sorry, I had a...
Our listener now knows how this sausage is made.
Here.
Thank you.
There you go. Fixed.
We're working on a branding for that segment, I guess. First, let's do the media corner, shall we?
Yes.
Welcome to Blockhead Video.
Hey, where can I find some good information about music and TV and videos and things?
Over here, in the media corner.
And is it my turn or your turn?
It doesn't matter. I'll take it.
Okay.
So, anyway, looking at everybody having to stay at home, I thought it'd also be fun. I think we talked about some other apps
later in the show.
Weeks ago.
Yep.
But this is talking about looking at our Galaxy through your smartphone, and this app is really, really pretty cool. So for the first time at Star Parties, I encountered this is the article speaking, by the way. I encountered somebody who isn't very impressed with a dim, fuzzy object I'm showing them on my telescope. But once I explained what the object is, how far away it is, and how it connects to our place in the galaxy and the wider universe beyond, it sparks their imagination, or it bores them, I guess, and they just want to go get another drink. And they look at it again with renewed interest and appreciation. A new fun application called Our Galaxy. That's a weird name to go search for, but yeah, you'll find it. Anyway, go look for Our Galaxy. Will let anyone learn about our place in the cosmos and feel a sense of wonder. In addition to the obvious bright planets and stars, the night sky is sprinkled with star clusters, nebulas, and distant galaxies, many of which are revealed by looking through binoculars and backyard telescopes.
Yep.
Astronomers refer to those exotic objects as deep sky objects. Though their position in the sky aren't completely random, star clusters and nebulas populate the spiral arms of a home galaxy or a Milky Way, which with more of them occurring closer to the center of the galaxy and fewer of them appearing along its outer rim. Their location in the sky allows astronomers to trace out the structure of the dimensions of our galaxy to determine where the stars are being formed within it. So if you pull up the app, you can go look at where all the stars are located. I'm going to kind of skip ahead because there's a lot of detail in here.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the app is, I think it was free, wasn't it? I'm mistaken.
I'll
I'm
have to go
looking
check.
for the link
I'm
for
pretty
it.
sure it was.
Yeah, I think it's free. Just go and install it, and you can check it out too. And you can explore a galaxy with a renewed sense of wonder.
Very
Called Our
cool.
Galaxy.
We have lots of
That's
space
like,
stories today.
see, I don't think that's one of those names. I wouldn't name them. I wouldn't name an app called Our Galaxy. It's like on my Windows machine
Yeah.
and my Samsung phone, there's an app called Your Phone, and it lets you text and stuff from the. So if you go, I was having a little issue with it, and I went search for blah 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 Your Phone. Now, how can you find something that has, specific to your phone? If you go search Google, then it starts saying, "Oh, on your phone, you might be having a problem." No, the app, Your Phone. So,
All right.
remember that when you name your app, kids.
Like my home directory, my hard drive.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Yes.
All right. We have something from cinemablend.com. Is there such a thing as too much Star Wars? Clearly somebody out there doesn't think so, because they've completed the insane experiment of split screening all 9 episodes of the Skywalker saga together. So they all play simultaneously. Is it impressive? Absolutely. Is it strangely mesmerizing? Totally. Can you understand a single word? Not at all.
No. Did you watch some of it?
No, I'm always afraid to start. They said the video, which is clearly part of an experiment to drive people with ADD completely around the bend, was completed by Lucas Hammer on YouTube. It's an impressive feat that needs to be seen to be believed. Check it out. If you're serious Star Wars junkie, then there's actually a lot of potentially interesting information you can glean by watching all 9 movies side by side. Well, you'd expect the timing of the opening sequence to be a little off between the sequel trilogy and the other 6 movies, because they don't include the 20th Century Fox fanfare, if nothing else. Yeah, remember in the early days, they didn't have 5 graphics companies telling about themselves? Like, this is from Wagon Wheel Graphics, and this is from Imagination Studios. And then they come up with the text that says the same thing for those 5 states. Like, everybody's got their flashy little animation with barbed wire and robots running through the grass. And yeah.
What I thought was funny was it's a lot of movies, you'll see 20th Century Fox and you see the logo, and then about about a minute into the film where they're still showing the titles, it says a 20th Century Fox production. Don't you know that?
Yeah. It does. There's a comment here. Does anybody else notice that the Star Wars logo recedes into the background faster in A New Hope than it does in the rest of that trilogy? That's fascinating. So yeah, if you want to watch some of those, it'd be a lot of fun.
That's what I thought was interesting also, of the first 6 that are on there.
Yes.
I guess that's Return of the Jedi. I'm trying to figure out which one is there, but episode 6, Return of the Jedi. That one was the last one to show the 20th Century Fox logo. All other 5 were there, and then Nick came up. The others went away, and then that one went away.
Huh.
Just the timing is a little different.
How are these ordered? Because it looks like A New Hope
Phantom Menace is at the top left.
Oh, so they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, they're
It's
in
not in the
order
order they were released. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. So we have to. You can just go like this over the top third.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is the Star Wars movies. That's always one of those things that's hard to explain to people that aren't that familiar with Star Wars. And well, what was the first one they came out with? What's the first one?
Episode 4.
Then you go, yeah, that's what I would say. And then you go, well, logically, there's one, and then
come on. The first day you sat down in New Hope, it wasn't New Hope when we were kids. It was just episode 4.
Sure.
You sat down and go, episode 4? Did I miss something?
I don't remember saying 4 at all. I just remember seeing A New Hope.
It said episode 4, New Hope at the top. You're like,
I don't think it always did.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I don't think it did.
All right.
I don't know.
Someone on the internet's going to have to settle this for us.
Seriously, I don't think it did. I thought it said A New Hope, and then later on they kind of retroactively added that.
My first experience was episode 4. What did I miss?
When did you see it? 1998?
No. Yes, it was after it was already out on Blu-ray
Love
and
the expression
reimaged.
on your face. You're like, no.
There you go. Screen grab for you if you want it.
Yeah, I'll go find that one.
Okay, where were we? Oh, we're into the hand me the remote section.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so new segment of the show as of last week. Hand me the remote. This is where Craig and I get into a discussion or quick review of something we've watched recently or completed. So this week, I'm going to talk about Devs, which is on Hulu. So Devs is an FX limited series that focuses on a young software engineer named Lily Chen who works for Amaya, a cutting-edge tech company based in Silicon Valley, or more accurately, it's in the Bay Area. After her boyfriend, Sarah, you think they got enough shots of the San Francisco skyline with the Salesforce Tower? After her boyfriend Sergey's apparent suicide, Lily suspects foul play and begins to investigate. She quickly realizes that all roads lead to Forrest, Amaya's enigmatic CEO, and Devs, the company's secret development division. If you listen closely, Forrest sounds an awful lot like, dang it, it was on the tip of my tongue and it just ran away. Nicolas Cage. He kind of sounds like Nicolas Cage when you listen to him. He's kind of got a real dull.
Right.
That's very interesting, Lily. In Lily's quest to discover the truth, she uncovers a technology-based conspiracy that could change the world. I really, really wanted to enjoy the show more than I did. That was fascinating, but it was just slow. And for that reason, I gave it a 6 out of 10. They probably could have taken, I think it was like 10 episodes. They could have put it into 4. It does involve some mind-bending quantum theory, but I didn't get invested in most of the characters. Outside of Lily, I didn't get invested in most of the characters as well as could have been. So it's a fun diversion.
When I saw that had Nick Offerman in it, I was interested. But
okay, there you go.
I like Nick Offerman.
Okay, you've got one in here too.
Yeah, this is a little different fare than than a tech or a sci-fi or anything. I happened to watch Middleditch and Schwartz, which has Thomas Middleditch and Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz was on Parks and Rec, and Thomas Middleditch is on Silicon Valley, the show. But they did some improv on Netflix, and they got a special. It's a 3-episode special. I guess they did 3 shows in New York. So the Thomas and Ben improvise performances based on audience suggestions. So they pick out somebody in the audience and they'll basically have a short conversation with them and find out a little more about them and everything. And they just kind of go from there. So nothing's scripted, and they do the whole thing and on the stage. And it's just fun seeing them goofing around, playing off, the whole concept that they came up with for talking to this one person.
I admire people who can do that. That is very difficult to do.
It was fun, and they're only about an hour a piece, and there's only 3 episodes. So, go check it out. They were in New York, the Skirball Center and Performing Arts in New York when they did this, and it was a lot of fun. So go check it out.
Very cool. And I don't know if anybody's been looking up in the sky lately. Have you seen the Starlink satellite go by?
I honestly haven't looked for it yet. I don't know. I saw this article and I went, why have I not looked for that yet? So,
Donna and I were out walking the other night. It wasn't one of the nights that they said, if you saw it Thursday, we're getting a lot of news reports and you'll see it again Monday. We were out walking, Saturday or something, Friday or Saturday. It's one of the off nights. And it's like, hey, there goes a satellite. Look, there's 2 going on the same path. And then a minute later, there's another one. It was really bizarre. She goes, oh, that's the Starlink satellite. So I brought up my app and I could not find the Starlink satellites listed there. I don't know why. I would love to see them. But this is from Forbes. The writer says, I've got a love-hate relationship with those augmented reality planetarium/stargazing apps. They're so useful when you get a bit lost in the night sky, and yet having to look at a smartphone can easily kill your night vision and leave you starblind. Well, that's why many of them have like a red filter on them. So I've also seen so many people stand outside and just look at the app on their phone instead of the night sky. So what to do? It's easy. Get one of the best stargazing apps outlined below. We'll give you a quick summary of these in a second. And do 2 things when you go outside after dark. Turn the brightness on your phone way, way down to the minimum setting. Then put the app into red light mode. That saves your eyes. Use it occasionally. Okay. That done, these apps are super clever. Using your smartphone's digital compass, accelerometer, and gyroscope, and GPS sensors, along with an ephemeris database of the movements of the stars and planets, augmented reality smartphone apps help you identify planets, stars, and satellites. All you do is just point your phone, and there's like a little arrow that goes, no, it's over there. It's really kind of fun. You're like, where's the Hubble? And it goes, you turn your phone, and if it says up that way, you go up that way, and it says, there it is. Just promise me one thing. Please use these apps to learn the night sky only when you have memorized some of the major stars and constellations and can navigate the night sky without any technology. You will get a real sense of immersion and think of the universe as a place where you live. Here are the best apps that they rate. Night Sky, which is available for iOS and Mac apps. This app keeps things really simple by presenting a vividly colorful night sky that is easy to scan around, either by moving your phone or dragging fingers across the screen. There's Find Starlink Satellites, which is available for iOS and Android. Maybe that's what I need to download.
Yeah, that's exactly what you needed.
It's a stargazing phenomena or a major problem for astronomy. Either way, Starlink is here, and a lot of people want to see it. Elon Musk's SpaceX is in the process of launching satellites to create a constellation of 42,000 that can give access to the world. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of these, apparently. Starwalk 2 is available for iOS and Android. That's the one that I'm currently working with. In terms of design, Starwalk 2 is the most beautiful stargazing app around. There are little icons for satellites and planets and lovely constellation images that fit transparently across the stars. I like the fact that when you zoom in, and like you do the pinch zoom thing, is zoom. It says Jupiter's over there. And if you zoom in far enough, it will show you like a big Jupiter. You can see the stripes on it and the red spot and the Galilean moons. You can zoom in pretty darn far on these things. Like you just traveled across the solar system in a few seconds. There's another one, Stellarium Mobile Sky.
That's the one that I'm using, by the way, the Starwalk.
I've got that one loaded too. Let me check real quick. I do have Stellarium. Yes, I do. I don't use that one as often, but I do like that one. That's a good one too. Mimics the free Stellarium.
I kind of like Stellarium because it gives you the false horizon, but it looks like it superimposes a picture on the horizon, so you kind of give you a little more. It looks more like
can you see
reality.
Below the horizon? Like when you aim your phone down at the ground, can you see below the horizon?
I think you can turn off the grass and stuff.
Okay, because the same thing happens on Starwalk 2. Is like, where's the Hubble? And it says it's down there. It's like, I'm not going to see it until it comes up over there. It's aimed at more amateur astronomers.
But if you can see it below the horizon, you can get an idea where to find it if it puts moves.
In the ... line. Yep.
Yeah.
So all of these are really good if you are at home, like many of us are, and you want to get a good glimpse of the night sky. You don't even have to have the best observing. Like we're here in Phoenix, and the light pollution is pretty bad, but we can still see the major stars. I can make out Orion and the major constellations. And obviously, if some of these smaller satellites are going by, you won't see them. But we did see the Starlink ones with the bare naked eye. So that's a lot of fun. Check it out. That's in our Geek Library. You can find that in the show notes over at chuckchat.com, episode 598. And that brings us to our question of the week. We are just almost out of time.
Oh, what?
Question of the week is, what movies could have been so much shorter if the main character just used a little common sense? Oh, I think pretty much all of them. Yeah. You can't use that answer, okay? We're going to predicate that on our filter. You can't just say all of them.
I would have said the Flintstones Viva Las Vegas.
And on that note, I'm going to let it go. How are we going to acknowledge that? With Craig, you're breaking up. Oh, darn Skype. Thank you for joining us. Hope you had a lot of fun. I know one of us did. We appreciate your support. And if you want to be part of that support, you can go over to our Patreon page. Again, patreon.com/Technorama podcast. We want to hear from you. If you don't want to write your answers or wait for the Facebook post to come up, give us an answer to that question of the week. Call us on the listener line, 707-530-2428. We'd love to hear from you. And all this and more is over at chuckchat.com, which is moving, but you won't notice because we're just going to flip a switch and it'll all be there. Fingers crossed.
You need an app to watch it.
Thank you, Craig. Aim your phone. Where's chuckchat.com tonight?
Yeah. Oh, it's over there.
Till next time, give me a binary high five.
All right, 101. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. And thank you, Donna, for the video.
Yes, Miss Technorama. Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for watching, whether you are on YouTube or Facebook. We appreciate it very, very much. Amy Bowen says, George says on the commentary track of the Blu-ray, which I just listened to last Thursday, that the very first initial release had no episode 4 A New Hope at all. It was deemed too confusing. It must have been added for theatrical releases. Aha! Wait. The very first initial release. But the theatrical releases were what most of the public watched, is it not?
Oh, did it say it on the theatrical release?
It must have been added for theatrical releases. Okay. Well, thank you, Amy. Leave it to the Star Wars nerds.
Yeah.
And with that, we are going to sign off, do our quick Patreon recording, and you can listen to that as soon as Monday, the 27th. And we will talk to you again real soon next week, or probably somewhere on the internet. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.